What's up, guys? It's your girl Kelsey, and I'm back with another video. If you're new here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for your support. As you can tell by the title, in today's video we're going to be doing a story time. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so this is going to be a story time about how I discovered that my psycho neighbor was stalking me. So I'm going to try and make this story time as quick as possible without leaving out any details, so just hang in there. Okay, so a while ago I noticed that every time I would make it home to my apartment complex, and for whatever reason I always back into my parking spots because when I pull forward I always like park crooked. But whenever I would put my car in reverse and I'm backing up, I would randomly just see this guy appear in my backup camera or whatever. So I didn't think anything of it. Granted, I'm in an apartment complex, so it's not bizarre that you see people. So I didn't think anything of it, and I was just like, wow, I keep seeing this guy. Like, maybe he just moved over here. Maybe he just moved into my building, because I noticed that I had been seeing him quite frequently. So I really didn't think anything of it until like maybe week 2 or 3. I'm like, no matter what time of the day I leave or come home, I would always see him. And it mainly would be, let me rephrase that, it mainly would be whenever I get home. So whenever I'm coming home, he would appear. But it was weird because he would park like at the building that's diagonal from mine, and he would back into his parking spot. So he literally has a bird's eye view of the entire complex from where he's parking at, and he's backed into his space. So that's what really made me start paying attention, because I'm like, okay, yeah, I keep seeing him around my building, but why is he walking from several buildings away? Like, he's walking from afar and you're like practically speed walking to try and catch up with me. So that's what made me catch on to it. And then he would like kind of linger in the stairwell. He would kind of linger in the stairwell, and we kind of ran into each other a couple of times, but I just thought like, okay, he went to his destination, now he's leaving, and we just keep running into each other. And he would never say anything to me. And one time I saw him, I'm walking up the stairs, he's walking down, and we ran into each other, and he had a drill in his hand. So I'm like, oh, this isn't a weirdo. He actually lives over here. He just moved in. He's drilling something in his new apartment. He's hanging up a picture. So I'm really giving this guy the benefit of the doubt. And so that same instance kept happening a couple of times after that. And then one particular day I saw him again. Now mind y'all, I don't keep a routine, so these are random times of the day that I keep seeing him, right? And rewind, one day I saw him, like, you know, like how when you get to your destination, you're about to get out of the car and you open your car door and you're just chilling like on your phone or whatever. So I did that one day, which I shouldn't have done that. I had my car door open and my leg was hanging out. My windows, I have 5% tint, so you cannot see me unless you get close to me. But apparently he already knew it was me because he had been watching me. He went out of his way to get close to me so he could speak. There were no other cars in the parking lot. No other cars in the parking lot. And it's just my car parked right there in the parking lot. And he goes out of his way to get close to me, and he's looking at my door, and he said, hey, how you doing? I didn't say anything because you're being weird. Like, it's a difference if we were in the same vicinity and you spoke to me. You went out of your way to speak to me. Like, get away from my car. Like, you startled me actually. So I didn't speak back. So I'm on the phone with my boyfriend. I'm like, oh my God, like, this dude is a weirdo. Like, he went out of his way to get close to me to say, hey, like, he's a weirdo. And so he walked to my building, walked up the stairs, and I don't know what he was doing. So I'm still waiting in my car. He comes back down and he circles again, and he's staring at me. So I'm just like, whatever, he's weird. At that point, that was when I saw him walk into the building, several buildings over to his car. So that's how I knew what kind of truck he drive. The very next day, I see him again. Y'all, this was going on for like maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, about 2 to 3 weeks. So the very next day I saw him, as I was backing into my parking spot, I saw him and I said, you know what, I'm gonna wait and see where he's going. Instead of me getting out of my car, I'm gonna wait and allow him time to go into my building and do whatever he's about to do. It's almost like he would linger in the stairwell to wait for me to get out of my car. So I figured him out. I said, I'm gonna wait here for like 10 minutes to see where he's going, if he even has a destination for real. I waited in my car after I saw him passing. He walked up the stairs. I don't know what he was doing, but I waited for a while. He never came back down. Y'all, tell me why as soon as I got out of my car and walked to the stairs, he was standing at the top of the stairwell just looking like a freaking serial killer. He's just standing there. So I put my head down. I have this unapproachable look. I have bags in my hand. I just left them all. So I have this unapproachable look. So he's standing there. He waits on me to walk up the stairs, but he's doing it in a way like, oh, let me let the lady go first. So he says, hey, how you doing? I said, no, at first he said, hey, I ignored him. Then he said, hey, how you doing again? I said, I'm fine, how are you? Never made eye contact. And he was like, I'm good, but I'm still walking. So he said, hey, he's stuttering. You that girl that be walking at the front of the complex? And I turned around, I just looked at, I gave him, y'all, if looks could kill, I could have pierced a hole through this boy's shirt with the way I was looking at him. So I turned around, I was like, I said, what? And he was like, you that girl that be walking at the front of the complex? I said, what? No. And I'm telling y'all, rolling my neck, looking at him in disgust. I said, no. And I proceeded to walk off. So he acted like he was walking away, y'all, but he was standing behind the wall trying to listen to see which apartment I was going to. I'm already on game anyway, plus my survival instincts immediately kicked in once he said what he said. When he's asked if I'm the girl that be walking, let me tell y'all exactly what he's referring to. So what he's referring to is, y'all, so I used to walk at the front of this particular complex. I would walk pretty much every day. I would walk like 2 miles. And actually, I wasn't even walking the complex. I would just walk like in the neighborhood of the complex. I would walk 2 miles, right? And so this is what he's talking about. So when he said this, he literally just exposed himself. So I immediately knew exactly who he was. And come to find out, he was the reason that I stopped walking that neighborhood because of this particular instance. So one day I was walking and they had this gray truck, a gray truck. I could see the guy clear as day. He a black young guy. As I'm walking in this on this little trail or whatever, and the trail is like a little square. So as I'm walking, y'all, why the car is following me while I'm walking? I'm on a trail. He's following the trail. He's driving so slow. Cars passing him up. He almost ran into a car. He literally almost ran into he almost ran the stop sign and ran into this old lady because he was staring at me, y'all. This is how hard he was staring. And I'm not gonna say he was staring like, oh, I want to shoot my shot, y'all. When I tell y'all, he was staring at me like he wanted to snatch me and put me in the back of his truck. He almost ran the stop sign and hit somebody, and he circled the trail like 3 times, riding by slow, like just looking like this, like a look, like a I can't say the word on here, but a grapist. Yeah, like he wanted to grape me. That's the look that he was giving. So it made me feel uncomfortable once I saw that he kept circling around. And so that was the last day that I ever walked in that area, right? I stopped walking. So rewind to us in the stairwell and him asking me, am I the girl that be walking at the front of the complex? All of that came back to me, y'all. All of that came back to me, and I got filled with so much rage. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, I see exactly what's going on. This is the guy that was following me when I was walking. This is the same guy that has been magically appearing every time I come home. It does not matter what time of the day I come home. I don't have a routine. This guy appears, and now you're lingering in front of my door. You're lingering outside of my door, asking me, confronting me, asking me, am I the girl that be walking? So y'all, I'm filled with rage. I'm shaking, y'all. When I tell y'all, mind you, I just left the mall. I got a handful of stuff, so I can't walk into my door because he's literally right there. So I kept walking down the hall. He acted like he was leaving, but he's standing behind the wall, y'all. This boy is standing behind the wall trying to listen to hear which door I'm going to, which I already knew. He knew what door I was going to because he knew like where to linger out at. He's outside of my door. He knows exactly where I live. So I walked straight past my apartment and proceeded to walk down the hallway trying to trick him. So I turn around and he don't know that I can see his shadow I can see his shadow, so I know that he's still there. So I walked. It's so quiet. Yeah, it's so quiet. He's not moving. He's just still. I'm literally looking at his shadow. So I turn back around. Why he's peeping around the corner, y'all? He peeps around the corner and he said, "You just moved here?" At that point, y'all, I went from being afraid to rage. Like at this point, I'm ready to get active because for one, I got my gun in my purse. I had a handful of stuff, but I always have my gun on me, right? So my gun in my purse, I got buku bags. I'm like, I need to defend myself. I don't know what this person is about to do. I don't even know this person. You snooping around my door. At this point, I'm in trouble. Come quick, Craig's in trouble. I got a bag. I have, both of my hands are full of bags. I can't go into my apartment because you're literally standing in front of my door. Now I'm walking down the hallway. Nobody is in this hallway. I highly doubt if anyone is home. It's quiet. So I'm just like, I have to defend myself. My back is turned. You behind me. Like at that point, I turned around because you already know where I live, right? You already know where I live. So I got to fight back. So I turn around with my bags in my hand. I'm storming at him. That must have scared him because he disappeared. But at that point, you already know where I live. So I'm about to go into my, so I got my keys. I open my door, hurry up, ran in, put my stuff down, lock the door, call my sister. I'm like, Sade, I'm telling her what happened. I'm shaking. I'm like, girl, I'm about to go to jail. This boy is playing with me. Like, this is, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. And she was like, okay, calm down. I think now that I look back on it, I probably shouldn't have done this. Don't do this. Don't go and confront anybody because people are crazy. I could have gotten hurt. But I know from past experiences that when you do try to press charges on people or get a restraining order or say that someone is stalking you, you need proof. And depending on the situation, you have to I'm gonna have to call her back. But anyway, depending on the situation, you have to have proof of telling this person to stop, like stop contacting me, stop harassing me. And I don't know if that's, I just know that that's how it is in Louisiana. And I know this from my own personal experience because this is not my first rodeo. This is the first time I've been stalked by a stranger. But I guess I was thinking more so about my personal situation with a dating partner stalking me. So that was in the back of my head. I'm like, okay, I have to have proof of me telling this person to stop contacting me, stop, stop following me or whatever. So that instinct kicked in. So I went down the stairs because now I'm looking for him. Like, where did you go? Like, so I went downstairs. I didn't see him. And I told my sister, I was like, I'm finna sit in the car and I'm about to wait. Like, we finna get to the bottom of this today. Like, I need to know, like, you're following me, stalking me. I need to know where you live. Who are you? Because I'm going to the office. And at that point, at that time, I wasn't even thinking about calling the cops or anything because my natural instinct was to defend myself. So I'm sitting in my car. I'm like, I'm about to wait because I know he couldn't have gone that far. I literally just turned around and he ran off. So I'm about to wait. So I'm sitting in my car and I was like, I don't see him, but I do see what kind of car he's in. So my sister was like, go take pictures of his car so you can have the license plate. I go to take pictures of his car, he's not in it, and so I'm sitting in my car just sitting there trying to blow off steam, right? About 5 minutes later, y'all, he appeared. I'm still shaking, I'm red in the face, y'all. It's hot, y'all. It's so hot outside, like I'm dripping wet, I'm, y'all, livid. So I see him at this point. Nothing is in my hands, like I'm, yeah. So I see him, so I get out the car. Y'all, I'm 5'2". He gotta be every bit of 5'2". We about the same height. If I'm 5'2", he's no taller than 5'5". So I didn't already sized him up. Yes, I know this a man. Yes, I know you can't beat no man. Listen, if that boy would have played with me, they was gonna be coming and pick him up in a body bag. Like, I'm not even kidding. I wasn't even gonna try to fight you. Like, she crazy. Yeah, I am. I'm glad you know, because when I was, you know, being startled and this and that, you preyed on me. You took my kindness for weakness. So now I'm coming back with a vengeance. So when I see him, I'm walking towards him fast, because he's walking back towards the stairwell, right? And he's on the phone. He always act like he's on the phone. So when he's stalking me, I guess to make it look like he's not stalking, he act like he be on the phone looking at other stuff so he can really be a creep. So I see him, we both walking towards the stairs, and he slows down like he want me to go first. First of all, I'm a woman. I'm never about to let a man walk behind me. I don't care if you a stalker or not. I don't care if he was 4'2". I'm not ever letting a man walk behind me. You get it? Like, I'm just not about to do that. You can do anything to me. And then furthermore, I don't want you looking at me, you know, looking at me. So no, you go first. Not ladies first, men first, stalkers first. You go first. So he stopped, like he tried to let me go first. I stopped and I looked him dead in his face. I said, no, you got it, go. And so I'm walking behind him. I'm on the phone with my sister. So I'm acting like I'm talking to my boyfriend. My boyfriend was at work. He don't know what's going on. I hadn't even talked to him about none of this because everything's happening so fast. So I'm on the phone with my sister and I'm acting like I'm on the phone with a man, just to let him know, like, there's a man present. So he won't think that, you know, like, oh, she's by herself. She don't have nobody to defend her. So I was like, yeah, babe. Yeah, he right here. Da, 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 da. And I was saying, just like, yeah, babe, what time you coming home? Because I don't know who he think I am. He got me up, and you know I don't play like that. And you just got out of jail for... Y'all, I was saying all kind of crazy stuff. I was like, yeah, babe, what time you get off? Because you just got out of jail for somebody up for playing with me, and I don't want you to go back to jail, but I don't know who this is. He waiting in front of my door. I don't even play with people like that. And whoever he on the phone with, whatever girl he on the phone with, he can call her right now. Like, I don't care. Stop playing with me. I'm tired of people playing. Y'all, I was going off. I was going off, and I was not in character. No, my man didn't just get out of jail. That was a lie, but I was serious because I heard him on the phone with a female, and looking back at it, I probably shouldn't have handled the situation like that, but I was just so angry. I was so angry, y'all. I was just filled with so much rage. You know, and it's easier to say what you would do when you're in a situation, but it's just like, it is what it is. But saying all that to say, he's acting like he on the phone, but y'all, he hear me. I'm right on his trail. I'm walking right behind him. You think you gonna stalk me? I'm finna stalk you. Where you going? So I'm walking behind him and not provoking him. I mean, it was enough space between us, but I'm like, yeah, we finna see. You keep walking to my building. Where you going? Yeah, I'm about to follow you to wherever you going. Where are you going? Right? So we get up the stairs. We get to the floor that he's been stalking me on, my floor. And so he's just walking. Mind you, he already know where I live because he's been stalking me for a whole month now. That incident where I was walking at the front of the complex, that was over a month ago. So he knows everything about me, right? So I followed him. Like, where you going? Y'all, he didn't have no destination. He walked down that hallway until he couldn't walk no more. He vanished in thin air. So this is enough proof and enough evidence for me to go to this leasing office. I know you don't live in my building because you did not have a destination, because I followed you. Yes, I followed you. You did not have a destination. I know what kind of car you drive. I got a close-up description because you approached me and said something to me. Yeah, all of it. So, y'all, it just, that really had my nerves bad. And like I said, I was getting ready to go out. Y'all, I was late for my, I was late for my date because all of that happened. But anyway, fast forward, I reached out to the leasing office the very next day, and I told them what was going on. I told them what was going on. She was so understanding. She actually came and knocked on my door. When I told her I needed to talk to her about a safety concern, she came and knocked on my door and was like, what's going on? And I told her everything. She was like, oh no ma'am. She was like, that is unacceptable. No. She said, I need you to go and file a police report right now. He's getting evicted. Point blank, period. I didn't think they was gonna take it serious. So I went to the police station to do the report. I'm telling them everything. Even the police officers, which I didn't think that the male cops were gonna be understanding. Y'all, they were so understanding, and they were like, on my side, they was like, no, that's not fair. You know, you live in a relatively safe community. You should never have to, you know, stop walking in your own neighborhood because somebody is stalking you, harassing you. And so I'm just telling them everything, and I literally typed up a formal police report. I'm about to pull it up. So basically I had to write like a statement saying what happened. I got like the different incidents. I have the incident from when he followed me a month ago. I have the other incidents, how I kept seeing him repeatedly for 2 weeks, and then I had detailed that last incident that happened where he actually approached me and said something to me. I gave him the description of the car, everything, y'all, everything. Shout out to Chat GPT. He helped me put all this together. And so as I'm up there telling the story, right? As I'm up there telling the story, one of the guys, one of the officers that overheard the story, he's actually the, what is it called? Y'all know how apartment complexes have the on-site security? Yeah. So as I'm telling the other officer the story doing my report, the on-site officer was there, and he overhears the conversation. And so he was like, wait, you the girl that called and da 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 da? He was like, oh yeah, I'm working that case, da 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 da. I gave them the license plate. They pulled up all this boy information right in front of me. I have everything about this guy, right? So anyway, the cop goes, he was like, wait, and what is he stalking you for? He's married. He has a pregnant wife. I'm like,
oh, the ghetto. The ghetto.
He was just like, and what's he stalking you for? He has a whole wife. He's married. Oh my gosh. And he was just like, he said, man, this is about to get ugly. This is about to get ugly. And I'm just like, well, it sure is. It sure is. So anyways, they basically was telling me like the next steps and stuff. That they told me that they needed to go and check with like their direct report to make sure that what he was doing classified as stalking, which like I said, I already knew it was stalking because this not my first rodeo. Ray Charles can see that this man is stalking me. So anyway, they told me they was gonna call me back and let me know. So by the time I made it home, y'all, I see him. I at that point I already knew what building he lived in, but when I came home I saw him like standing on his balcony. So I was like, okay, good, he's home now, because I ended up finding out what building he lived in when I went to go do the police report. I'm like, oh, there he go right there. So this perfect time, and we about to all have, me, you, the wife, the officer, everybody, we finna have a big kumbaya, because I just left the police station and the police told me that they was about to check something real quick and they gonna call me and head my way. He's on his balcony, so it's perfect timing. So they called me back and they was like, hey, we did our research, and that is in fact considered as stalking in the state of Louisiana. We're on our way over there now. And I said, oh great, he's home right now. I just saw him on his balcony. So I'm waiting. Mind you, I'm not gonna go over there with him, but just to make me feel better, I'm sitting outside. I want to watch the whole play. Yeah, because I'm nosy and it's pertaining to me. So I'm sitting in my car watching the whole play. And she's like, yeah, we about to go over there, and yeah, we about to go charge him. And so I'm like, uh-oh, charge. So I was like, wait, charge him? Like, what does that mean? And she was just like, yeah, we're gonna charge him with stalking. And I was just like, okay, what does that mean for me? Like, do I have to go to court? Does that mean I have to go to court? And she was just like, yeah. And I was just like, ugh. Y'all, and maybe this I'll share this story time another day, but like I said, it's not my first rodeo. I didn't deal with this before with a dating partner, and it just gives me anxiety, like knowing that I have to go to court and talk in front of people and just putting all these strangers in your business. It just was, I still have PTSD from my personal situation. So when she said that we was gonna have to go to court, I was just like, bro, I don't feel like going through this again. I'm just now getting over this mentally. I don't want to have to repeat this. And then she was like, yeah, you'll have to go to court, but it's probably not gonna be anytime soon. It could be months down the line. I'm like, girl, I don't want to deal with this. So I was just like, okay, I really don't want to go to court. I said, you know, maybe, yes, it's serious, but you know, can you just give him a warning, maybe scare him so it could stop, because I really don't want to go to court, right? So she was like, it's up to you. She said, we can do that, but it may get worse if we you know, give him a warning. It might piss him off, or it may work, but whatever you want us to do. So I told her to just give him a warning and let him know that if it happens again, I will be moving forward with charges. So anyway, the police go over there, and after they left, they called me. No, I called her. I called her, and I was just like, hey, how did the visit go? I was like, what happened? Because y'all, in the midst of all of this, like, I know that I got like aggressive towards him and angry. I was really afraid. Let me say that. I was scared. I was scared because it's like, it's a stranger. It's different when a dating partner is stalking you. It's like, okay, I know this person. No, that doesn't make it okay, but it's just like, okay, I know this person. I had dealings with this person, whatever. If they're obsessed with me, it's just like, okay, I actually know them. But for a stranger to be obsessed with you and stalking you, that's even more scary. It's just like, oh my God, I don't know, like, you might do me something. So I really was genuinely scared. So I called and I was just like, hey, what happened? What did he say? And she said, ma'am, I don't think you're gonna ever have a problem out of him again. He was so afraid, poor thing. He was shaking uncontrollably. He just, you're never gonna see him again. He's not gonna be a problem. He is so scared. He's afraid of law enforcement. You're not gonna have a problem with him again. I was like, oh, well, thank you. You know, I think I did scare him away. Oh, she did. I told her that what I had did. She said, yeah, between us going over there and you doing whatever you did, I think you scared him away. He's not gonna be a problem. So I was like, okay, good. Did he say why? And she said, yeah. He said that he didn't mean any harm and that he's been here for a while and he knows everyone and he didn't know you. So when he approached you in the hallway, he just wanted to hold friendly conversation. He didn't mean to scare you, and that when he asked about, are you the girl that be walking at the front of the complex, he was only asking that because he's into fitness and he works out a lot, and he noticed that he hadn't been seeing you, so he wanted to crack a friendly joke. And I'm looking at her, well, not looking at her because we're on the phone, and I'm just like, that's not funny. I said, well, ma'am, that further proves that he had been stalking me. If he lived 4 buildings away from me and you went out of your way to come way to my building to hold friendly conversation and crack a joke about me not working out and me slacking up, like, that's him. He clearly was stalking me, because how did he even know which building I live in? She said, oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. And he didn't deny that. She said, he admitted to everything that you said. She said, everything that you said he did, he admitted to it. And he said that he's going to stay away from you. You won't ever see him again. He didn't mean any harm. So fast forward, I follow up with the office to let them know what's going on or whatever. She was like, oh, thanks for the update, you should be good. You know, she just filling me in. She said that he came up there and he was coming up there to tell her the story, right? But he's making it seem like I'm the bad guy and he's the victim. So he goes up there to talk to this lady, and he's telling her, hey, yeah, did you hear about what happened? Mind you, she been knew what happened, but she playing dumb like she don't know what happened, because she want to hear his side. So she's like, no, what happened? Yeah, some girl said that I was stalking her and this and this and that. So she's like, well, who's the girl? How does she look? Oh, I don't know her name. And she was like, well, what does she look like? Like, where does she live? Oh, she's a short red chick. She live in building da 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 on floor da 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 da. And she said, well, do you know her? Oh no, I don't know her. I don't know her name. She said, well, if you don't know her, then how do you know what building she lives in and what floor she lives in and what car she drives? He couldn't answer that. So she caught him right then and there. It was like, if you don't know her, then how do you know what building she lives in or whatever? So, and he goes, yeah, the police came and knocked on my door talking about I'm stalking her. I don't even know her, and told me to stay away from her and don't go back to her building and don't do this and don't do that. I told them I paid $2,000 a month. I'm gonna go wherever I want to go. I'm gonna go in that building. I'm gonna go whatever building I want to go in. I'm gonna do what I want to do. He said that he told the police that. So I'm like, girl, he is lying. I said, that is not what he told them. But he never told them that. The officer literally told me, ma'am, you don't have anything to worry about. Poor thing. He's so scared. He was shaking uncontrollably. We thought we was going to have to call an EMS. But you up here trying to big up yourself and act like you big and bad to this lady at this office. And so, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, when I found out that he said all of that, I was like, y'all, this guy is really crazy. And it had me second guessing myself and regretting not pressing charges, because I'm like, if you're telling this lady this, that means you really feel like that. That means that you really feel like you are above the law, that you don't have to stay away from me, that you can continue to stalk me, continue to come to my building, continue to do whatever it is that you want to do because you pay X amount of money for rent. So at that point, I'm like, oh my God, this boy gonna be a problem. He gonna be a problem. He gonna be a problem. He's going to be a problem. But at the same time, I feel relieved because I'm like, I have my paperwork. I have my paper trail. So if I have to use, I don't want to say the word, I'm gonna do whatever it is that I have to do to defend myself and to protect myself and protect my home. Point blank, period. Anyway, at that point, I'm guessing his wife had found out. I think it was trouble in paradise before I came into the picture, but once all of that came to the light, I think it just added fuel to the fire. It was a big mess between him and the wife. The wife was trying to kick him out. It was just so much mess. I'm like, look, I don't want no parts in it. I already got my case number, my file number, which let me go get the card so I can show y'all. Yeah, like I already have my police report. I'm gonna hide the case number because I don't know if y'all can look that up. But yes, this is the police report I filed with the sheriff's office. This is not the report, but this is the actual file number. Yeah, so I'm just like, look, so now the wife mad. So I'm just like, I don't know how this about to go. Like, is the wife, is she gonna want to tussle? Can you imagine being a pregnant wife, or just a wife in general, girlfriend in general? You living with a man and 2 or 3 police officers come and knock on your door where you live with your family and telling you to stop stalking your neighbor, a woman that lives in the same apartment complex with you and your man. How would you feel as a woman? Y'all, I would have been in jail. Them officers would have been bringing me out of there in handcuffs. Because boy, what? All right, I'm finna show you. I'm finna show you. I'm finna show you. But hey, I'm gonna stay out of it.
Baby, don't play with me, baby, because I get active for real. But hey, I'm gonna stay out of it.
But anyway, so that happened, and y'all not gonna believe this. So I guess they made up and they decided to stay, right? So fast forward like 2 weeks later, guess what she tell me, y'all? This lady say, oh, you good, you don't have to worry about nothing, he's gone for good. I was like, what you mean he's gone for good? Like, did someone unalive him? Like, what do you mean he's gone for good? She was like, oh, he got evicted. So I'm like, she like, he got evicted. So I was just like, oh, like, what happened? She's like, oh, yeah, he got evicted for doing the same exact thing to a girl in his building. Y'all, I swear to God, God can strike me down right now. This boy got evicted for doing the same exact thing to another girl, but this girl actually lives in his building. I live several buildings away from him. He got evicted for doing the same exact thing to a girl in his building. So while him and his wife was tussling over breaking the lease and getting a divorce, whatever, they ended up making up and deciding to stay. Now he got evicted for doing the same exact thing to another girl in his building. And it's just like, okay, if your building has elevators, why are you following a woman in a stairwell and approaching her? And then, like, for you to literally do the same exact thing to someone else 2 weeks later, it really makes me regret not pressing charges. Like, oh my God, I'm just like, I'm glad that he didn't hurt. I'm glad nothing happened, or he didn't, you know, assault that girl or cause any type of physical harm to her, because I would have felt so bad, y'all, like, knowing that I had the power and ability to press charges and I didn't. Like, I just felt, I would have felt so bad. But saying all that to say, like, I'm glad that he ended up getting evicted, and they just better watch him. They better watch him. I would say watch him around, even watch him around kids, because that is weird. And like I told the officer, y'all, the look that he had in his eyes, the officer was like, well, maybe, well, he's young, maybe he just likes you and doesn't know how to approach. I said, y'all, this wasn't in a look of attraction. This was a look of like obsession, like ownership. Like he wanted to abduct me and tie me up in a room and just hold me hostage, like a serial killer. I would not be surprised. I say this every day to this day. I always tell my sisters and my friends this. I would not be surprised if I see this boy on the news for doing something, whether it's SA, y'all know what SA stands for, assault, that, grape, or even a serial killer. Y'all, YouTube is very sensitive with certain words. So, but yeah, I would not be surprised if I see him on the news for doing any of the above. But nonetheless, after all this, like the officer, I did tell her that I had a firearm and stuff, but she advised me to get some mace. And she was like, you know, just get you some mace. If you see him again, he close enough on you or whatever, just, baby, I'm with whatever I get to first, that's what I'm reaching for, okay? But anyways, guys, I really hope y'all enjoyed this story time. I hope it wasn't too all over the place. This isn't the norm for me, like doing the story time, so I did the best that I could. And if you guys stuck around to the end, thank you so much, and consider subscribing while you're here. My name is Kelsey. I create lifestyle content, fashion, vlogs, beauty, all that good stuff. But if you enjoyed this story time, just subscribe, because you gonna love it here. Because we always with the vibes, it'll be mid-vlog and I'm telling a random story time. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Mwah.